Do you remember going back to school after Labor Day and being asked to write an essay or a paper on what you did last summer? Well, I thought that would be a really good way to start this video to talk about all the things that happened this summer and how they closely tie to what's important in midlife. Hi, it's Terry. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are in midlife, somewhere between 40 and 65, wondering what the hell is going on, looking for ways to design and live a life of your own creation, you are definitely in the right place. Well, for a lot of people, summer is about relaxation, beaches, travel, vacation, maybe trying to coordinate what the hell your kids are up to. For me, it was about regrouping, rejuvenating, and really preparing for what is coming up next. What's coming up next? Well, in 2 weeks, my husband Zeke and I are leaving for 7 weeks in Europe. For me, it's mostly in France, and I'm super excited, but there was a lot of work that was done over the summer in order to get to a place where we're going to feel comfortable leaving. How I spent my summer served as a really great reminder of what I should be paying attention to, and maybe all of you should be paying attention to in midlife. And these things include listening to our bodies before they start screaming at us, kind of like my knee. Other things in midlife that are important are like spending time with friends and family and deepening relationships. Understanding that parenting as our kids become emerging adults, ours are 21 and 24, doesn't get any easier. It just changes. It turns into more mentoring and coaching and less about telling our kids what to do. It's also a great time to use our voices and our wisdom and perspective to stand up for what we believe in and stand up for others who cannot stand up for themselves. And finally, all of the work that we do in midlife to support ourselves financially doesn't really get easier, it just changes. So first up, my knee issue. So back in the spring before our trip, my left knee started to hurt. I thought it was a small tennis thing, only to really suffer during our 7-week trip to Europe. It was so evident in some of our videos that at the end of the trip, I was in a lot of pain and I was also losing a lot of sleep. So finally saw a sports medicine guy only to find out that I had osteoarthritis. And that was just the beginning of lots of doctor's appointments, PT appointments, and so much out-of-pocket expenses. My sports medicine doctor suggested that to relieve the pressure on my knee that I lose 5 to 10 pounds. Well, in midlife, if you are a postmenopausal or perimenopausal woman, you know that losing weight during this time is incredibly difficult. It's not like I haven't tried. So I worked with my doctor and decided to go on to Zepbound. And that journey I've talked about at length in a recent video. So you might want to check that out for more details. After 9 weeks, I'm down 14.1 pounds, which according to the numbers is almost 60 pounds of pressure or less pressure on my knee. Being on Zepbound has required a significant amount of time and attention, both on my diet and on my exercise, also on hydration. It has been very time consuming, very well worth it. I feel absolutely fantastic. I just wish my knee felt better, but the rest of me feels great. This leads me to exercise. And I decided to go all in on the exercise, not only to deal with the potential long-term side effects of being on a GLP-1 like Zepbound in terms of loss of bone density and loss of muscle mass, but also to potentially rehab the knee to either avoid surgery, delay surgery, reduce overall pain. None of that has really worked, but I feel stronger overall. But it's also meant that I've been in the gym, like at the beginning of the summer, it was 6 to 7 days a week for about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes a time, to now I'm at the gym 4 days a week to do my PT and all over body exercises to prepare for surgery in December, as well as on the tennis court 3 times a week. Surprisingly, playing tennis does not hurt my knee, it only swells it up later. This whole knee issue has really forced me to change my priorities. Like while before I was on the court maybe 5-6 days a week, but wasn't in the gym at all, now I'm limiting myself to doubles and I'm only on the tennis court 2 to 3 days a week. And then I'm focusing on strength, mobility, flexibility, all of the things for overall health as I am aging. It's all the things I should have been doing and I wasn't doing, but now I've been forced to do it. So I suppose I have to thank my knee for this because it really has forced me to have some really much healthier habits. While Zeke and Terri Adventures and our travel looks incredibly glamorous, once we are home, it is a lot of work to produce all of the videos. So many videos from our last trip, and we are not quite done. We have another week to pull them all together, and then hopefully we can go on our trip without any lingering content from our last trip. While Zeke does most of the video editing, I create the majority of the rest of the content, and I was really struggling to focus on creating it. And so I enlisted the aid of my friend Christy in Nicaragua to not only just help hold me accountable, but also to be another set of eyes and ears on the content I was creating, since she is part of my target market. We work together twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays for about an hour, hour and a half each. And it gave me not just the external accountability, but gave me a structure to drive through to completion a number of things that have been sitting on our to-do list for far too long. This resulted in consistent and intentional postings on everything from our website to TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, Facebook, postcards from the road, as well as piloting your life. And now I'm back recording these videos. Zeke and I have also been working really hard to create a whole bunch of YouTube Shorts to get more eyeballs on our content, because we really love our videos. We love sharing all that we've done and that we've learned on our trips, but we need more people other than our friends to watch the videos. So hopefully the YouTube Shorts will create a little bit more energy in the YouTube algorithm to potentially get more subscribers to our channel. And if you're not subscribing, please do. Zeke and Terri Adventures. And finally, we've started doing interviews on other people's podcasts so that we can get exposed to a broader audience of people that wouldn't necessarily see our content. It's actually been a lot of fun. With all of this, we've had a lot of late nights working. Zeke usually calls it about 9 o'clock, says his union hours are over, and it's not unusual for me to just keep on going because I might have had a either burst of creativity or I'm absolutely determined to check one more thing off the to-do list so that I can feel good when we leave in 2 weeks. We love to travel, but at the same time, we also love being home. And that means that during the times that we are at home, we need to spend time catching up on administrative tasks, catching up on house tasks and projects, getting the garden in order. There's a fair amount of upkeep to having the house and the life that we do have. With my never-ending quest to speak French, my friend Carolina suggested her French tutor, Florence, and so on a weekly basis, I have been working with a French tutor who has filled the gaps, or is attempting to fill the gaps in my French, and is trying to break my brain, in addition to me doing Duolingo every single day. I think when I'm in France in a couple of weeks, I will sound less like a slow 3-year-old and maybe more like a slow 4-year-old. I'm getting much better at tenses and basic grammar, but it's been a lot for my brain to handle, in addition to all the other things that I've done this summer. Leaving California for the fall is going to be really tough because we have had amazing weather this summer in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's been much milder than in years past. It's been absolutely perfect to support all the work that I've done, both physically, mentally, as well as on Zeke and Terri Adventures, Terri Hanson Mead, and Piloting Your Life. And it will be a great reminder of why we will want to come back once we are done at the end of our time in France. And this brings me to my activism over the summer. We are incredibly grateful to live in such a liberal place as the Bay Area. It's not just the weather, it's also the people who live here as well. We are absolutely horrified by what is happening in the US right now, and we have not been able to sit idly by and not use our voices, our pocketbooks, and whatever influence we have in order to affect more positive change. So every day this summer, I've made an effort to either write letters through Vote Forward, make calls through 5 calls, right, or do something similar to our representative, senator, governor, attorney general, all of the different websites in order to get our voices heard, as well as showing up for rallies, local protests in support of democracy, women's rights, immigrants' rights, healthcare, against a fascist and authoritarian government. And we know that when we're on the trip, we're not necessarily going to be able to do the same thing, but we will be able to continue to make our voices heard through the various different websites. Our family of 4, as well as our 2 fur babies, were our top priorities this summer. We spent a fair amount of time supporting both of our kids as they transition into the next year of their academic careers. Adam started grad school at San Francisco State on Monday, and I loved being able to spend time with him on the tennis court or in the kitchen cooking, or just listening to him talk about philosophy and issues that we barely understand. And we are afraid that it is going to get worse as he progresses through his 1.5-year master's program. Our other child, Theodore, was back in Burlington over the summer looking for a place to live. Since they were in Stockholm and Paris last year, they didn't have anything set up. So fortunately, they are all situated. They started classes. Things look to be going well for their last year at University of Vermont as part of their undergrad. My empty nest puppy, George, needed some extra love. I mean, he got love from Adam while we were gone, but I took him up to the park, Barkley Park, almost every night so that he could socialize with all of his puppy friends and I could reconnect with my dog park friends. We've also spent time with our 17-year-old cat, Felix, who seems to have 1 foot in the grave, but the other 3 are resisting mightily despite his forehead tumor. The other day, we thought we'd lost him. He was gone for about 36 hours, and turns out he had just kind of wandered off, and we think that the pressure from the tumor on his brain, his inability to hear, just caused him to get disoriented. We are keeping our fingers crossed that he stays alive until after we get back from our trip, because we really don't want Adam to have to deal with that. I'm exhausted recapping all that we've done this summer, and we started the summer exhausted. I actually feel really, really good. My knee's feeling a little bit better. I feel good about flying to Munich in 2 weeks, spending 2 days there, and then going to Strasbourg for 2 weeks by myself before reuniting with Zeke and Lyon, renting a car, driving around central France, and then ending up in Lyon for a 3-week home exchange. We have flipped the trip so that we're starting with fast travel, ending with slow travel, being able to live and work while we're in Lyon so that we're not as exhausted as we were when we got back from the last trip. The house and the garden are situated for the fall. The kids seem to be situated for the fall, so I feel really good about all of that. We still have a lot to do on the trip. The social media engine does not run by itself, so I will be creating a lot of content as we go along. But the bottom line is we've done a lot of hard work over the summer to really position ourselves for a pretty good fall. So our summer wasn't all fun and games, but not every season can be. Just like in Midlife, not every season is going to be all about adventure. There are going to be times where we need to look either internally or focus more on what's in front of us rather than what's ahead of us. But we regrouped, we re-energized, and we're ready to go. So what about you? What did your summer look like? Was it a summer of adventure? Was it a summer of healing? Was it a summer of growth? Was it a summer of a potpourri of all of these? Let me know in the comments or drop me a line at pilotingyourlife@gmail.com. I would love to hear about and be inspired by how you spent your summer. And if you enjoy conversations about midlife, especially midlife women, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And you can look forward to, I don't know what, kind of like my first serve on the tennis court. I have no idea where it's going to go. And with that, go ahead and let go of perfection, take some risks, and above all else, have some fun.